My husband thought he heard something that you said Roth IRAs have changed, like as far as their laws, and that the government could confiscate private Roth IRAs. We were looking to do that.
Well, so what I said, or what I've been saying for a lot of years, is that we have to remember that any qualified money, whether it's a Roth, traditional, 401k, 403b, whatever it is, any kind of a qualified money is anything that qualifies for certain tax rules and regulations for retirement. And it could be any account, doesn't matter. So the IRS changed the rules 2 years ago on Roths and on traditionals, on all retirement accounts. I believe, maybe I'm a little cynical, but I believe it was nothing more than a test run of the government running some changes up the flagpole. They were very minor changes. They did make some taxing changes to those accounts in one way, shape, or form. But I think one of the main reasons they did it was to be able to set precedents that they can change the rules anytime they want. It doesn't matter who the person thinks whose money that is. The government can control it because the government thinks anything they regulate, they own. And so back in 2009 is when I first started talking about this, because I had a great deal of concern, because in 2009, in July of 2009, to be specific, Obama went to the Department of Labor and asked them to run the numbers on what it would look like to give everybody an annuity kind of monthly payment for their monies that they would basically confiscate and then annuitize at a certain age for them. So, there was, I then investigated and found out that this has been kicking around the halls of Congress for a number of years, and both Republicans and Democrats were it was a bipartisan issue. So, anyway, so of course it could happen. My premise of lately has been that I don't want young people today, or anybody today, making the same mistake that we did, baby boomers, who control most of the wealth in the nation because of 401ks and IRAs and such. The problem is that generation has accumulated all their wealth in qualified money. I've talked to people here on the air that have said, oh yeah, I've got $1.5 million in my 401k, and my wife's got 500,000 in her 401k. And I would say, well, what else do you have in investments or savings? We don't really have any savings. We've got $2,000 in a savings account. So all of their accumulated wealth is in something that they don't have any real control over. They don't have the control over the way it's going to be handled, the way it's going to be taxed, the way it's going to be penalized, the way it's going to grow, what's going to happen to that growth, how that's taxed, and so on and so forth. That can change at any given time. And not to mention, the long reach of the government could step in there and do something really radical in some very severe times, because they're salivating over $22 trillion worth of qualified money that's sitting out there. So I didn't speak as if it is something that is definitely going to happen. I was speaking about it as something that we ought to be wise and protect against by way of not accumulating all of our savings and all of our wealth, whether it's a lot or a little, that we are trying to save and for those years of retirement. We shouldn't do that all in qualified money. We need to spread it out, and we need to have some accounts, like a regular old investment account, that the government can't touch. So that's the premise of that discussion. So my goal is to try to help people and ask people to be diversified in the type of accounts that they're putting their money. Hey, remember to click the subscribe button right here on the screen. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new content is added. And more importantly than anything, you don't want to miss all 3 live hours of Financial Issues every day from 9 to noon. And you can watch it on FISM.tv. That's FISM.tv.